Bog Death Grip unboxing. This thing comes highly recommended from multiple people. Mostly everyone is from Facebook. So I need this for my stepson to be able to hold the crossbow steady. He's getting better at shooting, but he still has a tendency to close his eyes before the shot. I'm trying to get him good at shooting 30 yards with a rest in the front and him having to hold the back of the crossbow. That way if we're at 20 yards and he doesn't have to, steady the front or the back, then, he'll be good at 20. So try to make it hard at 30 for him so it's easy at 20. Got this from Amazon. There's a link in the description below if you want to look at the lowest price Amazon has on these. So it's a low price Amazon link. This thing looks really cool. It looks like it's made really well. This thing is solid. And here's a tension knob for that pivot. Of course, I didn't read the directions. This is your knob for your grip. That seems pretty darn solid. Let's check out the legs. Flop this back for your lower extension, I'm assuming. And that's locked into place. Then you have another extension here. And if I wanted to lock two of these legs together, I could. And then I could use this as a bipod, like this, instead of a tripod. So you have that option. Oh, you'd have to make this tighter. Might have to add a few holes to that, but you could use it as a bipod instead of a tripod. And I think my next thing I'm going to have to do is read the directions, because I don't understand how to change this pivot here, the tension on that. And there's this knob. That's pretty tight. And that's more loose, so I guess it's just that knob, but you don't have to turn it very far, so that's a good thing. The only thing that the directions say is that this knob here, this is your knob for your panning. So let's bring this up a little bit, put the crossbow in there and see what we can do. There's a nice level on here, so we'll try to get it a little bit level. Let's bring it up some first. I'm going to take my bottom legs and just bring those out all the way. Feels like this thing is aluminum. It's very solid. And you can actually put these legs all the way out and you can lay prone and use this thing with your rifle. Oh, and these little buttons here are for these buttons that move here determine how far out your leg comes. So we're going to put it on 20, which is, I believe, the sitting angle. 45 standing, 85 prone, something like that. So you bring it in, push it to where you want it, and then it comes out. That's pretty cool. And let's get it's pretty close to level. That'll work for this. Going forward and coming back. Very smooth. And I have my knob here if I want to tighten that up. That seems to work pretty good. And then you don't have to turn it far, so that's nice. This part, the grip, put my hand in there, closes in equally from both sides. That seems to work pretty good. We'll test that out. But the panning, okay, That's not too bad. That's better than it felt earlier. Now that is with the knob completely loose. You know, it's going to go a little bit how you want it, and then it's okay. At first it had kind of a grabbing, felt like it was grabbing at certain points, but it feels good now. Let's tighten that up some. Yeah, so I think that will work okay. Okay, I'm just going to snug that up a very little bit. Let's get this puppy in there. I mentioned on a gun you want to have it at the balance point. I would say the same thing for a crossbow. This handle is going to be the balance point. Alright, it is holding it. Let's try to pan. No issues there. Tilting forward and back. Tilting feels a little bit loose. I'm going to tighten that up some. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah. I'm going to loosen it some now because that feels too tight. Yeah, so you can set that how you want it. So far I'm impressed. Don't go with something cheap. Let's go see how it works in the field. Setting up the BOG is pretty easy. We're going to set it. We're going to mount the bow. And I'm going to get it level in relation to the vise. Maybe not level right now in relation to the ground, because we're going to level this real quick and I'll show you how that's done. So you want to bring your chair in, and it's too low right now. So I'm going to open up my top 3 latches. The top ones because I can reach those easier. And I'm going to lift this up, and those legs are all going out down at the bottom there. I can get it where I want it, then I can look at my level, get that level, and then tighten these 3 latches up. Okay, so now we're pretty close to level. Yeah, that's pretty good right there. And if your bow happens to be unlevel a little bit, you can just loosen this up and you can adjust it, but I think we're good to go. So there we go. Set up, ready to shoot 30 yards. So out of the vise and back in that easy. Now I have to walk down range, so I'm just going to turn that to the side. The Bog Death Grip. I don't think this is the ultimate item to use for sighting in your crossbow at like 100 yards. But if you're just sighting in for hunting and you're just having fun with shooting targets, it's fine. For hunting, it's awesome. I was working with my stepson last night and I was able to loosen up these top 3 releases on here, and I could look at the level and kind of hold it up where he needed it, and then just reach over and lock all 3 of those. And then from there, we're good. You just, you put your crossbow in there, you tighten it up, check that you can pivot, tilt like this, and you can pan like that. And he was fine. I was comfortable shooting with it. So for hunting, it's definitely awesome. And if you're just sighting in for hunting and you don't care about like long range, tiny little groups, then it works great for that too. The links in the description below for these two products will take you to Amazon, and it'll take you to the lowest price that Amazon has these available for, if you want to look at them. Let's get this set up. This thing's freaking awesome so far. It has these pins here that you push for different angles. So if you want to sit, stand and shoot, or sometimes sitting, you can put it like this. If you want to do sitting down lower, you can put it out like that. And if you're actually going to lay prone, you can use this for laying prone too, like out west. That's freaking awesome.